Hey, Relic 2A here with another episode of Exposing the Spread of the Anti-2A Agenda. Okay, series where I talk about, this series is intended to sort of break anti-gun people up into categories. Okay, because some of us in the Second Amendment community, I used to do this myself. I feel like we don't really think a lot of us don't think about why a person may be anti-gun, and so we kind of put them all into the same category. We kind of just assume like, oh, they woke up one day and decided to be anti-gun. They're all in the same boat, right? And that is not the case. There's tons of different groups, different categories in which anti-gun people can be broken up into. Okay, I've talked in the past about anti-gun school systems, okay, and many people are indoctrinated through that to be anti-gun. Anti-gun mainstream media, and many people are indoctrinated through that, right? And those often go hand in hand, right? People are indoctrinated through the school system. Then, as they get older, that indoctrination continues through mainstream media. Um, and I've talked about anti-gun workplace or jobs in where people may not even be anti-gun. They just have to kind of, pretend to be, or just kind of not take a stance on it because they could get fired depending on what company they work for. So these are all, reasons people can be anti-gun, and they're all different. There's different layers, right, to every different category. In this episode, I'm talking about those who come from an anti-gun family or an anti-gun household. Okay, and this is it's an unfortunate topic because there's not, like I was going to say, this is the worst category of anti-gunner in my opinion. This is this is the worst level of indoctrination that a person could have against the Second Amendment and firearms. Are those who come from an anti-gun family? Because as I said, some people they might get indoctrinated, get propaganda through school, and then as they get older through the media, but maybe their family is doesn't take a stance. Maybe they're not pro-gun or anti-gun, or maybe they're even pro-gun. Those people are more likely to, have their minds changed through evidence and facts than somebody who comes from an anti-gun family, because those who come from an anti-gun family they're getting at least three layers of anti-gun propaganda. They're getting it from home, from school, and from the media. Okay, so that right there, based on numbers, has these people being the worst type of anti-gunner, the most extreme anti-gunners, the least likely to have their minds changed through, um, you know, information, truth, facts, statistics, all that. These people are the least likely to accept that because they have the most reasons not to, just because they have more propaganda, more indoctrination than most. So we got to keep that in mind, right? As always, information is key, um, but you can't change everyone's mind, right? And that goes for all anti-gunners. Um, but more so in this case, these people are the least likely, as I said, to have their minds changed, even if you are presenting them facts. Um, and then, that's really the bottom line. This is definitely going to be a shorter episode for this series, but if they came from an anti-gun family, they grew up anti-gun, layers on layers of anti-gun indoctrination throughout their whole lives, you may or may not be able to change these people's minds. Even if you do show them facts and whatnot. So, this probably could have been the first episode of this series because this is the worst, in my opinion, type of anti-gunner, the least likely to have their mind changed. So you just got to keep that in mind. This is a type of anti-gunner that you might not be able to have a reasonable argument or conversation with this type of person. You know, these might be the people who are screaming in your face, shutting you down, not willing to have a real conversation with you, right? Yeah, you know. Um, so we got to keep this in mind. We got to keep in mind the fact that there are different categories of anti-gun people. Some are, you know, some are going to be have their minds changed easier than others. Some are going to be willing to listen more so than others, and that's the purpose of this series. You know, so if you like this type of video series idea, if you like to continue seeing episodes of this, you can, you know, stay tuned. Check out my channel. I've already got multiple of these. And, you know, you can let me know in the comments if you agree with me, you disagree with me, if there's any other episodes of this series you'd like to see in the future. But yeah, you know, this is definitely a shorter one. I don't really have much more to say. It's really pretty simple for this particular topic. This is the worst type of anti-gun, right? That's really the point. So I'm going to get out of here. Goodbye.